Today I'm covering a topic that I'm stealing from somebody else. This is a video that Soki London did recently on her channel where she did a list of her favourite bedtime fragrances. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I wear fragrances for myself, okay? But when you are going out during the day, or when I'm going out during the day, or if I'm going to work or to an event or something like that, I feel like I have to at least take into consideration other people in my fragrance choices. And the circumstances, of course. You know, are you going to be sitting, right next to somebody, or are you going to be at a distance from people? And so for me, the bedtime fragrance choice is a lot more fun because it means it's open slather. I can wear whatever I like. I don't have to think about anybody else. I mean, there is Matt to consider in the equation maybe, but he is pretty good. He doesn't really mind what I wear, and he's used to it by now as well. So I don't really take Matt into consideration when I think about what I'm going to be wearing as my evening fragrance if I'm just at home. So I went through and sort of had a look at what fragrances I reach for on a regular basis for bed, and I was quite surprised at how many there are actually. I thought there were going to be a lot less than this. I thought the list was going to be pretty short. And this is not taking into consideration samples either. I mean, I do a lot of sampling at night time as well. I've been trying really hard to make sure I try and go through my samples because I have a lot of samples. And if you've seen my little IGTV video on Instagram, you will know all about that. Anyway, so I'm going to dive right in and not waste too much time. I'm just looking at the line of fragrances on the table here, so there's a fair bit to get through. Okay, so the first one is Apres L'Onde by Guerlain. This is a really beautiful old time, I'm going to spray it because it's quite light. This is a really beautiful floral scent, but it's like an old school floral scent. And I feel like it's got, I don't know what the flowers are. I think it might be violet or something like that. It's very light, it's very airy. I kind of get an image of light blue or purple flowers, It's just like an English garden or something. I don't know, without roses. I don't think there's a lot of rose in here, or if there is, it's very light compared to everything, all very well blended with the rest of it. This has sadly been discontinued now, I think. So I did grab a bottle before they started getting hard to get, and I'm really glad I did. I really love this fragrance. It reminds me of, I want to say home, but not really home. It reminds me of a very comforting place. This doesn't smell like my mother's home, but yeah, it just makes me feel very comforted. I don't know what it is, but it's very old. It's an old-fashioned fragrance for sure. The next one is also a Guerlain, and it is Shalimar Souffle de Parfum. So the intense version of this is what I used to gravitate towards the most as my bedtime scent out of the two, but I've been wearing this a little bit more lately, partly because I don't know if the Intense or Intense is going to be available for a long time. I don't know if it's a limited edition type of thing. So I guess I'm just a bit worried that if I use up all of the Intense, then I won't have it anymore. Whereas I have a massive bottle of this, so I figured I may as well use it. And this is it's a lovely vanilla, but it's got a lot of benzoin in it as well. And I think the Intense is even more benzoin based, but this has a lot of benzoin in it as well. So yeah, I really like it. It's gorgeous. Sticking with the Guerlain for now, the other one that's a favourite of mine for bedtime is Mancera EDT. I tend to wear the EDP obviously in the daytime if I'm going out, or if I know I need it to last a bit longer. But this is just a much lighter, less punchier version of the EDP, and it's got an airiness about it that the EDP doesn't have. The EDP can sometimes have a bit of almost a plasticky vibe, but this one doesn't really have that. It's it's much more airy and lightweight, and but it still packs a punch. I mean, it actually lasts pretty well. So anyway, so that's that one. And what I believe is the last Guerlain on this list is Mon Guerlain. Of course. I really love this fragrance, but I don't wear it during the daytime that much. I don't know why. I think it might just be because it doesn't last very long. It fades pretty quickly to a skin scent on me, and I don't know, in the Brisbane heat, it just sort of burns off my skin pretty quick. But I really, really love it. I haven't tried, I think I was given a sample of I think there's a floral version, a flanker of this, but I haven't tried the Intense either. But I figure I don't really need the Intense until at least I've gotten through this one. So that's that one. So that is, sorry for those, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this smells like, but if you don't, it's a vanilla-y lavender fragrance, lavender vanilla fragrance, basically. And it's really beautiful, very feminine, it's gorgeous. The next one is from one of my favorite houses. I have quite a few fragrances from this house now. I probably should do a video just on this house. But this is Santal Majuscule by Serge Lutens. I love this fragrance. This has got to be in my top 10 favorite fragrances. I adore this fragrance. Yeah, it's got a cacao note in the opening, a really creamy sandalwood dry down. It's got rose in it as well. It's sweet, but not too sweet. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I can't get enough of this. I wish I had gotten the bigger bottle. But I don't have a vintage version of this or anything, obviously, so I could still just buy a bigger bottle next time. Maybe I should buy one now because, yeah, I really do love it. I don't really get into the whole buying backup bottle thing, but maybe for this one I might. It's a beautiful bedtime fragrance, and I often layer this with the Giovanna Antonelli 811. I think is that the Intensivo or the Extremo? But those two, that with this is a great combination. So highly recommend this one. The next one is a fairly recent addition to my perfume collection. It's from L'artisan Parfumeur, and it's the Noir Exquis. So maple coffee, or maple syrup and coffee. So it's quite deep. It does smell like coffee, and that maple syrup just gives it a syrupy vibe, I guess you could say. And I didn't think I was going to like this, actually, because I thought, oh, maple syrup and coffee, it'll just be way too sweet. But yeah, I actually really like this a lot. But I do tend to just wear it at night time. I'm not a big gourmand fragrance, daytime gourmand fragrance wearer. I just can't really. I just find that if I'm going to wear a gourmand, it feels like it's something that I would want to wear in the comfort of my own home when I'm cozying up on the couch or sitting down with a good book and a cup of tea or something like that, you know. So that's when I tend to wear this one. The next one, I did actually wear this quite a lot when I first got it, and I haven't actually worn it for a while. This is Van Cleef and Arpels Vanille Orchidee, and I think most people know about this one. It's kind of an orangey vanilla scent, and the vanilla in this is very strong and probably overpowers all the other notes in it. For me, this is pretty much almost a straight up vanilla, but it does have a little bit more depth than than a straight up vanilla fragrance. I really, really like this a lot. And this one tends to last quite well on me. I find that if I put this on in the evening, I can still smell it the next morning. And it also tends to stay on my pajamas and stuff as well. I have this black knit long length cardigan that I just wear. I've been living in for pretty much 4 months now. I wear it, I was wearing it pretty much every day through winter while I was working and at home, and it's so daggy, but it would pick up this fragrance and it would pick it up from my skin and it would be on there the next day. So anyway, this is really lovely. I love it. I like it a lot. And I also, I really like the little, I don't know why. It's just a gimmick, I know, but I like it. The next two are pretty old, actually. I've had these for a while and I've lost the ribbon off this one. But Agent Provocateur, this is just the original one. This kind of reminds me of Aromatics Elixir, just a little bit. And I don't know why. I haven't really looked at the notes, I guess, but so that's kind of why I got this originally, because I didn't want to have Aromatics Elixir because one of my sisters wears that as her signature scent, so I didn't really want to smell like her, but I wanted something that was similar because I really liked the fragrance, and this was what I went for. So that's really nice. I really like wearing it. It's kind of a little bit sexy, like you could say. It's kind of my sexy fragrance. I pretty much never, ever, ever wear that out in public. I don't know, I guess I just don't want to smell sexy in public. The other one is also quite sexy, actually. It's quite sultry, is the L'Argent. This is a lot heavier though. This is really heavy. It's so dark. Yeah, there's a bucket load of patchouli in this one. Yeah, it's so dark and I really like it a lot, but I can't really think of too many circumstances where this is appropriate. I do like it. I just never seem to wear it that much, but so I tend to only just wear it in the privacy of my own home. I don't know why. But I tell you what, this smells great on matte. So I think, you know, men could probably pull this off in public more than women could, put it that way. The next one is Habanita by Molinard. I've spoken about this one before. This is just so pretty. It's a rose scent, but it is very powdery. So it kind of has a baby powder vibe to it in a way, but it doesn't smell juvenile. It smells the opposite of juvenile, actually. It's kind of a very dark rose with this powderiness in there, and it is really, really nice, and I find it to be quite a comforting scent, so that's why I think I tend to wear it. I mean, I wear this out during the day as well. I'd wear this to work, but I do tend to wear it more at night time and particularly more at home. You know, when I'm wearing, especially in winter, when I'm rugged up in a big jumper and a scarf or something, this is just exactly what I feel like, especially after a shower in wintertime, and you know, you might have been cold all day and then you have a hot shower and you're all warm and you put this on. It's great. It's wonderful. So you will notice that there is a bit of a theme here. The fragrances that I tend to wear at nighttime tend to be sweeter and they tend to be a bit heavier. Not always the case. There are some here, which I'll be going through in a minute, that are lighter weight fragrances, because here in summertime it's pretty hot even at night time, so I do tend to avoid really heavy fragrances in summertime. So the next one is, I should put the lid on and I should wipe it off. Absolute Aphrodisiac by Initio. Whoops, turn it up the other way, Cherie. I actually just wore this to bed last night. It's so nice. But it's so sweet. It's really, really sweet. In fact, it feels So I hadn't worn it for quite some time. I thought I'd be wearing this all the time this winter because I only really bought it late last year, sort of maybe September. And I really thought that this winter I would just rip through this bottle, but I haven't really reached for it that much. And I don't know whether it is because of the fact that it cost me a lot of money and maybe I'm in my mind, I'm trying to save the really expensive ones. I don't think that's it though. I think what it is that I really like it, but it is very sweet. And I feel like our winter this year, we've had a couple of really cold days, but then on the whole, I don't think our winter has been that cold this year. And I'm saying it on a really beautiful sunny 24-degree day. And I've just been out for a walk in the sun prior to this. So maybe that's why I'm sort of thinking it's not that warm or not that cold, sorry, because it's not. But in any case, I haven't worn this quite as much as I thought I would, but it is a really pretty ambery vanilla fragrance, and it's got a leather note in here, which I think is really nice, and I think it supports the fragrance really well. But it is so sweet that even the sweetness overrides the leather. So the leather is not super prominent in this, and you kind of have to look for it. But I can smell it quite clearly. But I think it maybe took me a while to figure out or to identify the leather note in this. But then once I did, I couldn't unidentify it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, it's nice. It's a really nice fragrance. Would I spend that kind of money on it again? Probably not. I mean, I'm showing you all these fragrances and you're probably going, is she insane? Because I'm wearing all the fairly expensive fragrances to bed, but I have lots of fragrances. So wear the damn fragrances. But, I mean, people really love this fragrance. So if you like sweet vanilla ambers, then maybe it's worth it for you. It's probably just a little bit too sweet for me, and that's why I don't reach for it as often as I thought I would. I do really like Side Effect from this line, and I tend to reach for that one more. Okay, so the next one is a decant. It's unlabeled. It's just a little decant bottle that my friend Rosie gave me. It's a little roller ball. This is a decant of Marc Jacobs Decadence. Not that long ago, so she only gave this to me a few weeks ago. I had mentioned to her in passing that I had never smelled Marc Jacobs Decadence, and she was gobsmacked. I think because she goes, you have all these perfumes and you haven't smelled Decadence. Why? And I think it's just because I really hate the bottle. I hate it. And I just thought, I'm never going to buy that. And when I go into the store, I look at it and then I don't even want to touch it. So she gave me a decant and I like it. It's okay. It's a dark green, plummy, sweet fragrance. It's all right. I know some people really love this, and I don't dislike it, but I don't think I would rush out for it either. But I have been wearing it to bed, and it is quite a nice bedtime fragrance. The next one is one that I went nuts for a while, and it's also a relative cheapie as well. I think it cost $40 for this 100ml bottle, but this is Raghba by Lattafa, and it's a vanilla fragrance. It's an oody, boozy vanilla fragrance, basically. And some people, a lot of people either really love it or really hate it, I've found, but I quite like it actually. I think it's really nice, and Matt really likes it, and he really likes wearing this. Yeah, I wore this a lot when I first got it, and it sort of was my bedtime fragrance, one of my staple bedtime fragrances for months and months and months. It's not so much one that I wear anymore, but Matt tends to wear it, so this one sits on the dresser so that he'll pick it up. But he quite likes it. I like it on him as well, so that's that one. The next one is a guilty pleasure. It is a Tender Romance by Ralph Lauren. I think this is kind of underrated. It's like a caramelly vanilla fragrance. And there's something candy sweet in there too. I like it. I think it's really pretty, and I do tend to, I mean, this one does sit on my dresser. So this and the Raghba sit on the dresser, and they're like the go-to bedtime fragrances for Matt and I. And then the others sit here in the perfume, it's not the perfume room. I can't believe I just called it the perfume room. It's my study. It's my office where I actually do my work. Yeah, so I think this is really pretty. I really like it. Would I buy it again? Probably not. I mean, I'm, nearly a third the way through this. And I only really started wearing it this year. I bought it last year, but I've only recently started wearing it. So I've been ripping through it a fair bit. I don't know if I'd buy it again though. So the next one is a Guerlain fragrance as well. It is actually the last Guerlain fragrance. It was at the other end of the table and I didn't see it. But this is pretty much my go-to nighttime scent in summertime. And it's Champs-Elysees EDT, Eau de Toilette. So this is a beautiful creamy mimosa fragrance, and it smells like body lotion to me. That's why I like to wear it to bed, because it smells clean. It sort of makes me feel like I stay clean and fresh, even if it's a couple of hours later when I go to bed. I still feel like I smell like I just got out of the shower, and that's because it does kind of smell like if you've just gotten out of the shower and put moisturizing cream on. So anyway, that one, I think it's really beautiful. It's also a very nice daytime scent, but it's so weird. I don't think I've ever worn this in the daytime ever. I think this has always been a nighttime scent for me, and I don't know why. But now when I smell it, I feel like I should be in my pajamas. So I don't think I'm ever going to be able to wear this in the daytime. It's bizarre. Anyway. The next one is a decant as well, and it's a Chanel, and it's the Bois des Iles. And this is a bit similar to Coromandel, but not as sweet. I don't think that it has that white chocolatey note to it. There is a sweetness in there. There's definitely an ambery sweetness in there, but it's not as sweet as Coromandel. And I just really, really love this. I feel like I'm going to need to get a bottle of it, not to wear to bed necessarily. I just think it's a really beautiful fragrance, and but I do like wearing it to bed. I think it's because it's powdery, really. I think it lends itself nicely to a bedtime scent, but I mean, it lends itself nicely to an anytime scent. It's beautiful. So if you haven't tried Bois des Iles, get your nose on it. No bedtime list would be complete without a bit of Chanel No. 5. Come on, you know it was coming. This is the EDT. And the EDT to me is very soapy. It smells soapy and very clean and fresh and kind of sharp. Who was it? Angel Lately describes this as smelling like Imperial Leather soap, and I 100% agree with her. That's why I kind of never, when I was younger, I didn't really like it that much, I think, because we always used to get this Imperial Leather soap and I didn't really like it. And now I like it. I guess it's a maturity thing, but yeah, No. 5. All right, so we're almost at the end of the list. Second last is Indian Study by Miller et Berteaux. This is a really fairly recent acquisition for me. I have a lot of samples from this house, and I really struggled to pick one. But I promised myself that I wasn't going to do what I did with Guerlain or Serge Lutens or Mon Guerlain and buy lots and lots and lots and lots from the house, because A, I don't need it, and B, with these ones, most of them, maybe with the exception of Postcard, or New Study, which is the minty citrusy one, but all the others they don't smell the same as each other, but evoke a similar emotion or feeling from me. So I don't need several of them from the same line because I'm going to get that same outcome from wearing any of them. So I decided on Indian Study. Originally, I really wanted Study number 23. I thought that was definitely the one that I was going to go for. It's a very dry spice, incensey bomb. But I think in the end, I decided on this one because I think the sandalwood's a little bit more prominent in this. Actually, a lot more prominent. This is, I think, primarily a sandalwood fragrance. There is a little bit of incense in here as well, so it's just a tiny bit smoky, but not too much. And it's just got a little bit of spices in here as well. This is really beautiful. And as far as sandalwood fragrances go, this and Sandalwood Temple by Sana Jaran are my two best, most favorite sandalwood fragrances. Oh, and Samsara is also a sandalwood fragrance, but I think if I'm really honest, I feel like this and Sandalwood Temple are more authentically sandalwood. And the last one, I thought I would finish off with another sweet one. This is a sugar bomb. It's Roses Vanille by Mancera. I did not go through this whole bottle. This is a partial bottle that I bought earlier this year. So I really like the smell of this, but I struggle to wear it because it is so sweet. And I have found that the only time I can wear it is bedtime because it's so sweet. But that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It's roses and vanilla. I don't think there's anything else I can say about it. It has a bit of it is a little bit synthetic-y, but I think a lot of the Manceras have that element to them. I don't know if it's ISOE Super because these tend to project an awful lot as well. I don't really care about the synthetic-ness about it because I do like the smell. I kind of struggle to wear it a bit, so sometimes I might just spray the bedspread or something so that I get the smell, but it's not on my skin because it can be a bit much. Well, so that's my very long list of bedtime fragrances. I really thought it was a lot shorter than that. Anyway, that's that. Thank you, Soki, for giving me the inspiration to do this particular video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.